All right, another day, another podcast. I'm feeling terrible. Awful. And it's only going to get worse because I've made a bad food decision. It started as a great food decision. I said to myself, I'm going to order from Yard House. I'm going to order a gluten-free meal. Gluten-free. I'm going to tell the Yard House website, I have a gluten sensitivity issue. And it's going to give me some options. And I know that they're going to be delicious. Because whenever I order something that's gluten-free at a restaurant, they simply add twice as much salt, sugar, and fat. And everyone's happy. Everyone goes home happy. So I ordered, I think it was trout. It's one of those fish that you eat it and you went, well, it was meat. It wasn't a salad. That's what you say at the end of eating the fish. And it was very well cooked and very nicely done. Here, by the way, what that was me being afraid that any member of the organization known as Yard House is listening to this podcast, A, and B, offended by me making fun of the fish. I think it was halibut. I think trout has more of a tangy, I don't know, it was fish. Yes, I think it was trout because it has kind of an almond sauce. Trout almondine, and that's me giving a bad French accent. But anyway, I digress. Gluten-free trout. Great! I'm making a good decision. I'm thinking about my future. I'm being healthy. And then I ordered a cheesecake creme brûlée. Not gluten-free. Not lactose-free. Not at all what I need. In the middle of the order, I went from a great healthy decision to a terrible healthy decision. I'm now staring at what is left of my dinner. The vegetables are all present and accounted for. The trout is gone. The creme brulee is gone. So I've basically just freebased sugar and protein into my body. Shaving years off my life here with this. And there's mashed potatoes. Gluten-free, but probably not lactose-free. And I'm continuing to eat them because they're delicious. So at this point now, I'm going to eagerly await and see how my intestines will react. Sometimes I can get away with it. Sometimes the intestines are like, I got this today. It's a good day. I can handle this situation. Creme brulee, no problem. Creme brulee, A-OK, my intestines say. Sometimes there are bumps in the road. And this is going to lead to a difficult Thursday morning. And then rarely, but it does happen once every 10 years, I poop myself. Now, I just had one of those accidents a couple of months ago, so I feel like the clock has been reset for another 10 years. Because that's how biology works, I think, right? And now the question is, the car ride home is 20 minutes. Am I okay? Can I record this podcast and drive home? Or am I stuck in this office for the foreseeable future? Find out on part 2 of this podcast entitled, You Reap What You Sow. Can we please reopen? Can the comedy club please reopen? I work at a comedy club. I'm the booker at a comedy club. I want the club to reopen. I understand we're in the middle of a coronavirus crisis. I understand. I agree that we all need to be wearing masks. I agree that we all need to be taking precautions. But I think, from what I'm reading, this is not going to go away in a couple of months. I just read a very disturbing article which was saying somebody got the vaccine and 3 weeks later they still caught it. I'm also reading another article saying that LA only got 16,000 doses. Other smaller cities in California got more doses. How do you forget LA? I feel like I'm forgetting something, Jim. What? I don't know. It's angels. Something with angels in it? How do you forget the largest city? Who forgets Los Angeles? It's the epicenter. Epicenter. Oh, my God. But I really wish they would let us reopen. I think that we can be safe. Or rather, nothing is 100% safe, but I think that a bunch of people socially distanced wearing masks, checked out for symptoms at the door, and we don't fill the capacity, but we even do it at a reduced capacity, I feel like that's safer than private gatherings where there's no enforcement. Am I crazy? But here's the other question. What if this never goes away? I mean, what's the point? I don't have an answer to this question either, and by no means am I a scientist, but if herd immunity is impossible, if this thing just keeps mutating and it becomes like the flu, I mean, at some point we got to just pick back up again, right? Does anybody know? I don't think anybody knows. Sometimes I get the feeling they're all flying by the seat of their pants. Very frustrating. Extremely frustrating. I am licking the bottom of the creme brulee plate right now. There's no more creme brulee left, and I'm still licking it. That's what's happening right now, as I am recording this podcast. I'm a sugar addict to the nth degree. Why are you a sugar addict, Josh? Well, the sugar helps me with depression. It gives me a little bit of a rush, a little bit of a high. If I don't eat the sugar, I'm more tired and more easily depressed. If I do eat the sugar, I get a little bit of a rush, and then I come crashing down, and then I'm depressed. So actually, now that I think about it, it really doesn't help with depression. It just... And, it helps me to procrastinate on my depression. Instead of being depressed right now, I know that I'm going to be depressed later. So, maybe I do know what I'm doing, America. Maybe I do know what I'm doing. Dating's rough. Am I right? Dating! I came up with a brilliant idea. We should not be able to choose our own Tinder pictures. We should not be able to choose our own online pictures because we're going to put out the image of what we want to be, not the image of what we are. Our pictures should be chosen by somebody more objective. I think the Facebook algorithm is getting smart enough. I think pretty soon the Facebook algorithm will say, don't go with this picture, go with that one. That's you. I'm Facebook, I know. I see what you post. No. You're not that pretty. No, life is not that happy. Go with this other one. Better yet, I think our phones should just take a picture of us when we don't know it, and that should be the picture that we put on Tinder. Because that's who we live with. If you're in a relationship right now, turn and look at that idiot that you're with. And they're doing whatever they're doing. That's who it is. That's not what was in the picture. I don't think my picture's that great, and I mean for it not to be that great. I was just talking about this today. My boss wants me to dress more nicely. Iron my shirt. Cut my hair. And she says, if you dress better, you will feel better. And what I want to say to her is, have you met the Snyders? Have you met my family? There's varying degrees of fashion sense in my family, ranging from chic to shit. And we're all miserable, universally. You know what I've noticed? I've never been wearing an expensive suit and then saying to myself, I'm happy. Now, in her defense, I will say that when I have dressed up, I felt a little better, but not enough to put in the work to always be dressed up. It's kind of like, not that I have any experience with this, but I would imagine it's kind of like the difference between going for a run and doing heroin, if you're addicted to heroin. The run, yeah, sure, you feel better after the run, but it's not like that heroin. I had a teacher who said that I enjoy being in my own pain. That I put myself there. I choose to be in my own pain. I'm eating literally, as I'm describing this to you, I'm eating mashed potatoes with milk in it, knowing I'm lactose intolerant. So I am proving this man right. He was a genius. He had me pegged. I don't know, maybe this podcast should have a guest. But maybe this should have a theme. Maybe there should be more to this than me just rambling. But you know what? All I want to do at the end of the day is ramble. Who do you think you are, Josh? Bill Burr? Bill Burr can do it because he's Bill Burr. Bill Burr can talk for an hour because he's Bill Burr. But who are you? You know who I am? I saw the movie The Edge, starring Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin, written by David Mamet, and there was a line in the movie that said, what one man can do, another man can do. So if Bill Burr can talk into the thing for an hour and release it, and that's okay, I can do it too. What one man can do, another sort of man can do. Maybe almost as kind of well, but still not. Because I'm still finding my voice. Oh, you mean failing, Josh? No, I'm not failing. I'm finding my voice. It's a process. It's a creative process. Josh, you're failing. Oh, yeah, I'm failing. Yes, I'm failing. You're right. Now we got to wear 2 masks. And they just announced it today. We got to wear 2 masks. 2 masks now, people. And I want to make this very clear. I'm not disputing the science. I'm not saying we should not wear 2 masks. I am in agreement. We must wear 2 masks. But my question is, how many more masks are there going to be that we need to wear before it kind of becomes... Are we going to get 3 masks in a month? 4 masks? Put a bag over your head. The Spider-Man costume. Do that. Spacesuits. We need spacesuits with self-contained oxygen systems. I swear to God, it could be the kind of mask that I'm using. I think I'm using the right mask and then a cloth mask over the right mask. It seems like there's more places for the thing to get in now. It's not flush against my nose because my nose is too big. I smell another conspiracy theory, no pun intended. The big noses, they made this to kill the Jews. That's what happened. Our noses are bigger. They know that. So, of course, the virus is spread through the nostrils. No, that's not. It's not how it works, people. I don't believe that. Let's make that clear. I don't believe that. I was reading, actually not reading, I watched the video of this. Though, I could tell you I read it, sound like I'm smarter and you're never going to know the difference. But I watched a video about the scientists went into Wuhan. I'm probably mangling that name. Wuhan, China. Oh, God. I feel every Chinese person going, what is he doing to our beautiful language? But scientists are going in there and they think that it was probably spread to humans through meat, through an intermediate animal. I think they said it was like a ferret or a mink or something. But it's meat that's eaten. A ferret or a mink. So maybe we just, if we all ate halibut more instead of ferrets or minks, then millions of people would say, what fish did I just eat? I can't tell based on the taste. Was it halibut or was it trout? It wasn't salmon. No, you tell if it was salmon. It was what? This is what we have to eat now? Oh, God. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the virus is preferable to this trout halibut. Was it bad? No, it was good. It tasted, it was meat. It was, we knew it was alive at one point, so that's good. Like it's better than vegetables. You just don't know what kind of meat it was. The fact that there's a difference in taste, by the way, between different meats, fascinating. Salmon has a different taste than halibut. Different species. Different species of different tastes. When the species is different enough, there's something. And yet, genetically, I mean, like the difference, like even genetically, the difference between a human being and an ape is, tiny. Not that I'm advocating we eat either humans or apes. But then again, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I think it would be horrible to eat apes. We've done enough to apes. But human beings eating other human beings, I kind of feel like we deserve that. That might be the only option if we keep having kids as much as we're having kids and destroying the earth. It might come to Soylent Green. Soylent Green. They turned old people into a candy bar. I'm finishing the mashed potatoes, by the way, so we're all but ensuring that Thursday is going to be, it's going to be Friday. That's when you're going to see me next, not Thursday. I'm going to have to auto-post this. I'm going to have to set this to post on Thursday because by the time, as this is posting, I will be doing my own posting of sorts. It's a good almond sauce. I think it's almond sauce. Listen, I don't know what fish this was, but it was delightful. I thoroughly enjoyed this fish. Yard House, in case you're listening. Nicely done. I'm a fan of Yard House. I don't know how anything they do is considered healthy. It's not. And I can tell because I'm happy. Because it's delicious. They have healthy options, they say. You don't need to do that at the Yard House. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm getting myself into. I'm not going to the Yard House because I want to live longer. I'm going to the Yard House because I want to live well, baby. I'm going to get a lawsuit from the Yard House. We do, too, serve healthy food. Like, for instance, this tilapia. Oh, it was tilapia. No, I don't know. I still can't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure it was trout. Or was it halibut? It was crusted with something. I know it was crusted. I just don't know what the fish was. I could look up the order. Now I feel like I need to look up the order. Let's see if it's still up on the screen. If it's not up on the screen, I'm not going to look up the order. Guys, it's been 20 minutes. I've been talking for 20 minutes. And I'm starting to promote this podcast on other platforms. Is that right? Is that right? What's the sitch? What is the situation? Nope, I closed it. All right, well, folks, we've come to the end of this podcast. I'm now going to drive home and hope that nothing happens in between. Hope that my intestines are going to be generous tonight. Perhaps tonight is one of those lucky nights. Wherever you are right now, whatever you're doing, turn to the person next to you and say, I just barely tolerate you.